All right, welcome back to eCruz Learning because it's just that easy. With your host, Mr. Cruz. And today we're going to learn about multiplying polynomials. We're going to learn about multiplying polynomials and the GCF, which is finding the greatest common factor of a polynomial. All right, so my goal for today is to keep this quick and simple. All right, short and sweet. Okay, so example one. All right, example one, problem A is really easy. I told you we're already in example one, problem A, because this is going to be short and easy. Okay, short and sweet. 2x times, open parentheses, 3x plus 1 close parentheses. All right, the first thing we want to do, if we want to simplify this, this is what they're asking us to do, simplify. Okay, we want to simplify. Well, we simplify this using distributive property because we have something outside of parentheses, so then we have to distribute that 2x in there. So this equals 2x times 3x. We already learned how to deal with exponents. When we're multiplying, 2 times 3 is 6, and then x times x. If you're multiply coefficients, add exponents. So there's really a 1 here and a 1 there. So this is x squared. We're adding exponents, and then there's a plus sign. So plus 2x times 1 is just 2x. And that's it. We are done. We're done here. So remember, from this we learned that if we are simplifying, we multiply. All right, we're gonna we multiply coefficients. Remember, the coefficients are the numbers in front of the variables. Numbers in front of the variables, like the 2 and the 3. All right, and we add the exponents, okay, because we are multiplying. We add the exponents. All right, example B, real quickly, because we're simplifying. This is multiplying polynomials. We're going to multiply, example B, we're going to multiply negative x, okay, negative x cubed, open parentheses, 9x to the 4th power, okay, plus x to the, I'm sorry, not plus, what the heck, 9x to the 4th power minus 2x to the cubed power. I know some of you are fighting because you're writing in pen, and you're like, what the heck? Well, I ask you, what the heck are you doing writing math in pen? Use pencil. Always use pencil. All right, so now the difference between this one and the previous one is that the actual factor, the term that I'm going to distribute, is negative. All right, because this is negative, then that means that the signs are going to change in there. So the first one is positive. This is a positive, so it will be negative. It's going to be negative 9. Okay, because there's a 1 in front, but we don't care because we don't see it, so we just rewrite the 9. Now when we multiply, we add exponents, so 3 plus 4, that will be 7. So this is negative 9 times x to the 7th power. The next term is minus, so we're going to go with plus. I'm writing these in red because I'm changing each sign. And then we have 2 and x cubed times x cubed, that's 3 plus 3, which is 6. Okay, and then we have the 7 at the end. The 7 says plus, so then this is going to be minus because I'm changing the sign one more time, and this will be 7. There's nothing to multiply the x cubed with, so I just rewrite it. X cubed times 7 is that, negative 7. So this is my new simplified polynomial. That's it. I cannot do anything else here. I cannot combine like terms because they're none. I cannot combine like terms because if you look at these exponents, there are different exponents. So I cannot combine like terms. In order to combine like terms, you got to have the same variable with the same exponent. That was example 1. Let's do example 2. All right, I told you this was going to be easy peasy. All right, find the greatest common factor. Now we're going to find the greatest common factor. Okay, we probably learned this in 6th grade, but now we're going to apply it to polynomials. Okay, to polynomials. So example A. If I give you, let's say that the problem is 5x, okay, 5x cubed, let's see, plus 25x squared, plus 45 x. Let's add x at the end. All right. Are you ready? Because I'm going to do this right here, right now, live. Okay, the greatest common factor, and all they're asking is for the greatest common factor, so that's all I'm going to write. Okay, the greatest common factor. First, we look at the numbers. Which one is the greatest common factor between all the numbers? Remember, factors are things that you multiply to get 5, to get 25, to get 45. Well, as you see, all of them are multiples of 5s. So then my coefficients, 5 is my greatest common factor. Now, can I find... I'm sorry, I lost my voice for a second. I'm kind of sick. I found my coefficients greatest common factor. What about the variables? Is there any common factor with the variables? And the answer is yes. The common factor of the variable is the smallest variable, is the variable with the smallest exponent that you could find. Which one is the variable with the smallest exponent that you could find? This one right here, the last x. Because if you don't know, there's a 1 there. There's a 1 there, that's the smallest one. So therefore, this is 5x. Done. That is the answer. The greatest common factor of that polynomial is 5x. Okay, let's find, so to find the greatest common factor, all right, always look for the smallest coefficient and check if the others are multiples of that one. Okay, most of the time that's how it's going to work. Not always, but most of the time, if you look at the coefficients, the smallest coefficient is 5. You ask yourself, hey, is 25 a multiple of 5? Yes. Is 45 a multiple of 5? Yes. That means that the greatest common factor will be 5. Let me give you another example. Let's use b. Okay, b is pretty simple. 3x to the 4th power minus 9x squared. Okay, minus 9x squared. Minus 12x, okay? What is the greatest common factor? Well, this is really easy. I'm just going to do this on the side. Again, the greatest common factor, the GCF. Look at the smallest number. The smallest number is 3. The smallest coefficient, I should say. Is 9 a multiple of 3? Yes. Is 12 a multiple of 3? Yes. Therefore, 3 is my greatest common factor. Is there, every single term has an x. Which one is the smallest x? Again, most of the time it will be this x, which is 1. So there's only one x outside. Boom, we're done. That was my greatest common factor. Okay, let's do one more example. See, if we have 4x to the 6th power plus 2x, let's say, to the 5th power. That's it. That's it. Not too complicated. Let's keep it simple. All right, let's keep it simple. Keep it positive. Keep it simple. What is this greatest common factor? We'll look at the smallest coefficient. The smallest coefficient is 2. Is 4 a multiple of 2? Yes. So then my greatest common factor for the coefficients is 2. Which one is the smallest exponent? Which one is the x with the smallest exponent? Right here is 5. Therefore, this is x to the 5th power. And that's it. That is my greatest common factor. The last one that we're going to look at is example D. Please pay attention to this one. All right, let's say that we have 18. Let's say that we have 18x. I'm sorry, let me change this for color consistency. Nope, this stays the same. And this will be 18x, okay, to the 5th power. 18x to the 5th power minus, let's say, 12 minus 12x to the 2nd power, or 12x squared, plus 6. Okay, plus 6. Now, check this out. What is the greatest common factor? Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to change one thing. I'm going to change one thing just for fun, okay, because I want you to see something. This is not 12. Change that to 15. Please change that to 15. The actual problem is 18x to the 5th power minus 15x squared plus 6. Do you see a greatest common factor? When you look at it, you don't see one, because 15 is not a multiple of 6 and 18 is not a multiple of 6, but they all have one common factor, and that factor they have in common is 3. Is 3, because 6 is divisible by 3, 15 is divisible by 3, and 18 is divisible by 3. So even though, and the reason I changed that is because I want you to see an example where there is a coefficient that, or a greatest common factor, that is not one of the coefficients. So just because it's not there doesn't mean that there's not a greatest common factor. Now for the x, there's one term. There's one term, which is 6, that does not have an x, so you cannot factor an x. This is the greatest common factor. That is your answer. Okay, example 3 will be the last example. Hopefully this is making sense because it's pretty easy. All right, example 3, we're going to factor a monomial. Factor a monomial, okay? And then we're going to factor, well, not a monomial, I'm sorry. We're going to factor, well, yeah, we're going to factor a monomial, okay? I'm going to give you a polynomial, okay? I'm going to give you a polynomial. Hopefully you know polynomial are multiple terms, and you will be able to factor one monomial from it, which is what we've been doing in the last example. So 3 more examples and we are done. Example A. Okay, this will make more sense when you actually see it done. 5x to the third power plus 25, okay, plus 25x squared plus 45x. This is the same problem that we had at the beginning. Look at it right there. The same problem that we had. So we know the greatest common factor. If you look at it, now it should be faster to deal with. The greatest common factor is 5. So this is 5. And then for the variables is just x. That is my greatest common factor. Now we're going to factor this. Factor means, remember, that we're going to express this as a multiplication. So I'm going to open parentheses. And here's when the fun begins. Please pay attention because we're going to be doing this a lot. All right? When you have a monomial, all you have to do if you're factoring out a monomial, divide every single term of the polynomial by the monomial. Okay, that's all we're doing. Because, well, 5 divided by 5 is just 1, and x cubed divided by x is x squared. So this term gives me, which is the first term, it's x squared. Another way that you could think about this is, what do I need to multiply times 5x to get back 5x cubed? Well, x squared, because I'm missing 2 x's, okay? But you could think about it that way, or you could just take the term and divide by it. Now I'm going to do the one in blue. There's a plus sign, so I'm going to write down plus, okay? 25, I'm dividing this term, 25, by my monomial that I just factored. 25 divided by 5 is just 5. X squared divided by x is just x, because I'm subtracting the exponents, okay? You divide, when you divide, you subtract exponents. So 2 minus 1, there's a 1 there, okay? That's just 1. And then I'm going to do the last term right here, which is plus 45. So 45 divided by 5 is plus positive 9. Okay, positive 9. I color-coded everything. The x cancel because x divided by x is just 1. So that's it. You factor that x is no longer there. That's it. That's how you factor a monomial. Let's do part B. Okay, remember, to factor monomial, divide the term by the greatest common factor and subtract the exponents. That's all we're doing. So 4x to the 5th power minus, let's do minus 24x cubed, okay, plus 8x. Here we go. This is the second time that we're going to do this. If you look at it, the smallest number is 4. So is 24 and 8 multiples of 4? Yes. So we could factor out of 4. We could factor out of 4. Which one is the variable with the lowest exponent? Hey, is this one. It's x. So therefore, we could factor out 4x. And now we're going to open parentheses. 4 divided by 4 is just 1. We just factor it out. X to the 4th power divided by x is just x. I'm sorry, x to the 5th power divided by x is x to the 4th. Now there's a minus sign, so I'm going to rewrite minus. And hopefully you can finish this from here. 24 divided by 4 is just 6. And this will be x to the 2nd power, because 3 minus 1 is 2. And then the plus sign, so plus. A divided by 4 is 2. Okay, and we just factor the x, so the x is no longer there. Also, x divided by x is 1, so we do not write it down. That's it. That's the factor version. The last problem. Let's do the last problem. Are you ready? Are you excited? This is the last problem of this video. It's going to be, my goodness, 50 minutes. If we hit the 50-minute mark. Okay, so 9x to the 6th power plus 15x to the 4th power minus 12x. Okay, minus 12x squared. Okay, minus 12x squared. Well, this factor is pretty easy. 12 is not a factor of 9, and a multiple of 9. 15 is not a multiple of 9. But if you look at them, all of them have one factor in common, and that one is 3. And which one is the smallest exponent? Well, we look for the smallest exponent. Well, it's 2. So x squared. Open parentheses. We got to open parentheses. Now what do? We divide. 9 divided by 3 is just 3. 6 minus 2 is to the fourth power, plus, remember we subtract the exponents, 15 divided by 3 is 5. All right, subtract the exponents, that will be x squared. There's a minus sign, so minus. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and x squared just cancel because we factor it out. That is my answer. That's how you factor a monomial. This was Mr. Cruz with eCruz Learning, and it's just that easy.